Hello friends. Welcome back to Wonderfully Made Bible Stories for Children. I'm Anna and I'm so glad you've joined me again today. In our last episode, we talked about the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah and how Lot and his family escaped thanks to God's mercy. This week, we're returning to Abraham and Sarah to see how God kept a very special promise to them, a promise about a baby. Are you ready? Let's dive into this amazing story together. Do you remember Abraham and Sarah? God made a promise to them that they would have many descendants. But there was just one problem. Abraham and Sarah didn't have any children, and they were already very old. It seemed impossible. But you know what? With God, nothing is impossible. One day, God told Abraham, "Look up into the sky and count the stars if you can. That's how many descendants you will have." Abraham believed God's promise, even though he didn't know how it would happen. Sometime later, Abraham and Sarah were visited by 3 men. These weren't just any men. They were special messengers from God. Abraham had a meal prepared with the finest ingredients and gave it to them. While the messengers ate, one of them said, "I will come back about this time next year, and your wife, Sarah, will have a son." When Sarah heard this, she laughed. Not because she was happy, but because she thought it was too late for her to have a baby. The Lord asked Abraham, "Why did Sarah laugh and say, 'Will I really have a child, now that I am old?' Is anything too hard for the Lord?" Guess what? God's promise came true. At the time God had told Abraham, Sarah had a baby boy, and they named him Isaac, which means he will laugh. Abraham and Sarah learned an important lesson. God's timing is always perfect, even when we don't understand it. Wow! What a beautiful story about trusting God. Let's think about this together. Have you ever had to wait a long time for something you really wanted? How does it feel to know that God always keeps his promises, just like he did for Abraham and Sarah? Just like Isaac's name means, he will laugh. This story reminds us that God brings joy into our lives. Even when things seem hard or impossible, we can trust that God has a plan. Thank you for joining me today to hear about how God gave Abraham and Sarah their son, Isaac. Next time, we'll hear about a big test of faith Abraham faced, and how God showed his love and faithfulness once again. Until then, remember, you are wonderfully made, and God has an amazing plan for you. Bye for now.